Loud. All right, guys. Okay, recording. Hello, hello. So this is session 4, and this is all about growing your network and the KPI list, you guys. And I am just going to dive right into it. I am going to be sharing my screen because I want to show you guys. So specifically, we're going to cover the KPI list first. And I want to go over it in general with you, and I'm going to add something to the chat so you can watch a video. Hold on a second. You can watch videos on what this means. I mentioned it in session 3. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator, and it is a specific task list of 10 things that each of us try to accomplish every single day to move our business forward. And they are simple tasks, but there's a little, I would say that there's almost tips and tricks we have on each one of them. And so session 1 didn't have any covering of KPI, but sessions 2 and 3 covered a few of the KPI numbers. And I'm going to put up the list here. Give me a second. But it covered a few of them. So once you learn this KPI list and you need to go back and watch session number 2 and 3, please do that, because you'll then see in a deeper way, like, oh my gosh, yeah, she accomplished task number 1, 2, and 3, or whatever it is. It helps, I think, to get an understanding of what each task is, and then figure out a way in your own life or your own business how to stack them together. Because I'm all about stacking when it comes to this. I think that when we look at this page, I'm going to show it right now. We can sometimes get a little overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of tasks. Like, how am I going to get this done? So let me show this to you. Maybe it's going to load here. Share. Here we go. All right, it's still loading. I don't know. Come on. Let's refresh. Hold up, guys. Download. And open. Really? There it goes. Okay, boom, here we go. Okay, guys, so this is it. So you can access this in our team page. It is also in the newbie page as well, the new up level. Or you can go to your back office or your eSuite under document library, and you can actually download this, okay? Just search task, T-A-S-K, in the search box right here, and it will come up. It'll be the only thing to come up, okay? All right, so I'm not going to go over all of these tasks for today. However, write this down, or someone put it in the chat. Session number 2, we went over, so back in Ignite, session number 2 was posting. That was KPI 2 and 7. Okay, so if someone can write that in the chat. So session number 2 was covering task 2 and 7 on this list, okay? And then Ignite session number 3, so what we did this last week, it covered task number 1, 5, 6, and 9. 1, 5, 6, and 9. So for those of you that need to go back and rewatch session 2 and 3, just know that you're going to get all of the tips and tricks on how to do those specific tasks, okay? Tonight, we're going to cover 3, 4, and 8. So let's look at this. So what I want to point out, number 3 is go to your, actually, let me do, let's do this one. Let's do adding first. So number 8 is add a minimum of 25 new friends on IG and Facebook. Okay, why is this important? This is adding to your network. Why? Why do we want to add to our network? Because fresh fish jump first. Okay.
When real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you repeat those numbers?
Yeah.
And I'll put them in the chat because I know I'll put it in there.
Okay. Yeah. Session number 2 was 2 and 7.
Okay.
And then session number 3 was 1, 5, 6, and 9.
1, 5. Okay, I got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. So now, okay, so we're growing your network. So this task right here, number 8, is adding people to your network. Fresh fish jump first. And you want to continuously add people to your network, because here's the thing. Those of you that join in this business, a lot of times prior to this business, you may have shared a couple of things. You may have only posted to your social media like twice a year on holidays. You may not have been super active. And so you've never cultivated relationships with people that are already your friends or followers on social media. And so you joining this business, now assuming those same people that you really hardly have a relationship with are going to purchase your product or join your team, it may not always work out like that. And so always continually having the idea that you're still trying to grow your network to constantly have different eyes viewing your content is exactly what you want, because you never know that if the new friend you just added, maybe a mom, a single mom struggling who just lost her job and is looking for an opportunity, right? So always getting in the mindset of adding people to your network is what we want to do. So I'm going to show you how to easily add people to your network using pillars. And if you remember, we talked about pillars in session number 2, and those are what represent you as a human. Okay. It's the F bombs, the family, fun, freedom, franchise, food, fitness, faith, all those things that represent who you are. And I'm going to show you how to use the pillars to search for people to add to your network so that you're adding like-minded people and not just random people. Okay. Now, before I show you that, let me go over 3 and 4. So number 3 and 4, they're the same. One is for Facebook, one is for IG. And all it means is that we're going to be interacting. So it says, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, and interact with 25 people. Okay. What does this mean? Basically, think of it like this, you guys. This is a social media platform, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't care what you're on, Snapchat, Twitter. Okay. It is a social media platform, meaning you need to be social. And if you want interaction on your own page, meaning likes, comments, views on your stories, all that, right? If you want that for your page, then you're going to have to give the same amount that you're wanting back. You're going to have to like and comment and interact and cultivate new relationships every single day, okay? Because it is going to be vitally important for them to know that you're not just in this for the money. You're not just in this for them to buy a product and then you're done with them. You're not just in this to create a hey girl, I'm going to send you this random cold message. Do you want to join my team? Oh, you do? Okay, cool. Here's the code. Thanks, bye, right? They need to know that you care. People don't know that you care until they know that you care, right? So you've got to figure out a way via social media, especially now because we're not meeting in person a whole lot. You've got to figure out a way to transcend all those different types of barriers that a lot of times come into play whenever you're meeting someone new on social media. Do they trust you? Right? Do you guys vibe together? You know, does she know who you are? Does she know that you have kids? Does she know that you're a single mom or a dad? Does she know, do they know that you're in college? Do they know that you're a working parent? Do they know that you have all of this going on? And if they don't know that, why don't they know that? That comes into play. You're posting, right? That's session 2. So that is why all of these sessions are intertwined together and they're buildable. So what you learned in sessions 2 and 3 are going to help set you up for this session, okay? And so again, we're going to be interacting and we're going to be following and friending. That's what these 3 tasks are. And I'm going to show you how I do it and how I stack this every day to knock out literally all 3 of these tasks in one sitting. And it's, again, this kind of alters day to day, and some of you may have other systems. Don't change what you're doing. For those of you that aren't necessarily new watching this, don't necessarily change what you're doing, because stick with it, because you don't know if it's fully going to work until you give it some time. But for those of you that haven't done this and this is your first time seeing this, I want you to really try to use these tips and develop your own habits. Okay. I'm going to share my screen from my phone. So let me stop sharing. Before I do that, let me make sure there's no questions. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to add myself and I'm going to share my phone and I'm going to show you. Okay. There we go. Zoom. Share screen. Start. All right. Here we go. So, all right, so I am going to go into Instagram first, and it is essentially kind of the same thing. So I'm going to go into Instagram, and it automatically opens up to my newsfeed. So before I show you some shortcuts, I'm going to show you like my long version, okay? And so what I like to do, you guys, to accomplish interacting and friending and following is this. I go to my own page. Sometimes I'll stay in my newsfeed, but I'm not going to show you that way. Here is my own page, okay? So this is my own Instagram, right? So what I do is I am typically not messaging right away the people that messaged or liked my current or recent posts, okay? I go down a little bit further because I like to let those sit there a little bit and I like to interact first. So I, right now, you guys, am actually on this post right here, which is literally the beginning of November. What I do, you guys, follow me here, and you can write this down if you want, but I see there's 85 likes, right? I go in to my own likes, and here's what I do. So as you notice, these are all the 85 people that have liked this post. Some I follow back, and some I do not follow back. Okay, so you can see the ones that are blue where you see follow, I don't follow them back, but they must follow me. Okay, which is fine. But what I like to do is I go through this list, and I usually start at the top. I go through the list and I say, okay, who is my team? Who are people that are already in the business? Maybe they're not on my team. I'm not obviously going to message them or go into their network. But I go down to the next person that is neither, right? So that's this girl right here. And actually, I've had conversations with her. So I'm now on her page. I clicked her name. This is what I'm going to do. Let's say, for example, I have not messaged this person. She liked my post. So I know she's watching what I am doing, right? So I am going to go to her profile, okay? And I am going to go through her posts, and I am going to interact, okay? So I'm going to tap on a post. So I'm going to double tap. I'm going to go, I've already done these. I'm pretty caught up with this one. But I'm just going to go through, okay? So I'm going to like, maybe comment on one post, but I'm going to like about 3. I don't go crazy, and I don't go all the way down, like endlessly scrolling, right? So I stay up at the top. Now, what I do then, you guys, so I have interacted with one of my 25. Then I'm going to go into her likes, and I'm going to friend her, friend some of her friends. So I click on her 49. Now look, here's some of the people. Here's where you can be a little bit choosy. The reason why I am choosy is because look at these profile pictures. None of these that are in the blue follow look like people that I may want to have in my network, okay? Some are men, some are franchises. If I don't see a picture of a face in the profile, I'm not going to follow that person because I don't know if they're real, okay? So what I like to do is, yes, I usually friend or follow women. That is just a choice of mine. And I also like to see women that may have a child in their picture because I know I'm a mom. I can relate to moms. Or someone that may look my age because I know I can relate to them better. It doesn't mean that's all I do, but that gives me a general idea. So you want it going into this, know who is your ideal person? Who would you just want to be friends with outside of this business? Okay. And I know that's sometimes hard to tell via social media, but you guys know when you go to someone's profile and you're like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. I just love her vibe. She's so cool. And you don't even know her. Okay. All right. So I'm going to scroll down. Some people I will go ahead and look at their profile, and some people I won't. And so I am going to friend some people, and I don't go crazy with it and friend everyone, but I may go through and I friend maybe 3 to 5 people. Okay. I don't do that on every post. I just do it on that one. So I go back to my own likes again, right? So I just did Delta Dawn. I'm going to go down to the next one. Okay. Okay, look, here's hers. Okay, I've already liked hers. But anyway, so I would do the same thing. I go into her likes. I would find people that I think I can jive with. Okay, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna look. And this is literally what I do, you guys, and it takes 2 seconds. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back. All right, now I've already messaged these two, so I'm not necessarily gonna message them. But normally, you guys, I would go and send them a message. Here's the thing, she liked a post that specifically talked about the business. It is fair game for me to message these people about the opportunity. Does that make sense? So when I'm going through these posts, I'm not just randomly messaging people. I am messaging people that are actively following me. Okay. So for example, if I were to go in here, Delta, like let's say this one, I just went into hers, I would comment. I go in, I friend some of her friends or follow some of her followers. I go to message, and I would knock out two birds with one stone. Sorry, Tracy. I know I always say that. But look, I sent this on October 27th. So her and I have already went back and forth. I send my message I would normally send. Okay. And we went through and she asked me what it was. And look, she didn't respond back. So I just sent another message on the second, just following up. She's seen that. So because she's seen that, I keep her in my network because I like her vibe nonetheless. And it may just mean no, not right now, but I'm not going to re-message her about this opportunity. Okay. But I'm going to still keep her in my network because I know for her, based on our conversations back and forth, it's only a matter of time. Okay. So I'm going to go down to the next one. I'm going to go to her. Okay, look. And guys, this is literally what I do. I've already liked some of these. Okay. Oh, how cute.
Tavia, I got a question.
Yeah.
If we're not as popular as you and we only have 3 likes,
Yeah.
6 likes, 10 likes, you got 85 over there, girl, plus a bunch of comments.
Yeah.
Then what do you suggest
Okay.
for us?
That's a great point. Okay.
The new
so I'm gonna show
Instagram users or the ones that don't have a huge following.
Yeah. So here's what I do. Here's the thing.
Don't laugh, Tashima, because I only got 3 likes.
Here's the thing to remember, you guys, is I will say this. If you only have so many likes on your post and they're minimal, it could just be your team. Okay. That's okay too. What you do, and this is where it comes in, doing the other tasks is so important by showing and representing your business every single day. Because let's say I don't get 25 from my post, right? And if I'm posting every day, I should have more that build up over time. But I hit my business multiple different ways. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. That's 2 ways. I post to both platforms. Those are 2 different groups of people. Then I am active in my stories. That's a whole different element to those platforms too, right? So what do I mean by that? So if I click on my stories, right, I would go back and I would look at all the areas like that I am like active, right? So if I have, okay, look, I'll pull up my who is looking at my stories today, right? This is just today. And I'm going to go to the day before. Exactly. But I would look at people from my stories so that overall, I know some of you guys stalk me, you stalkers, and I'm just playing. But overall, I will have 25 people from each platform. Here's the thing. You may not have 25 right away. That's okay. You may have 5 people, but you better access all different areas by posting and doing hands-free. And if you only have 5 people to message, that's okay. That's why building your network is so incredibly important. So don't be so stuck on the 25 number. Be stuck on no matter who is viewing your stuff or liking or commenting, you want to engage with them, right? So that's why I reciprocate and go like their content, because even though they may have said no to me, or even though I haven't asked them yet to join my business or to try a product, I still want to actively engage and build a relationship with them. So I am constantly interacting back and forth. Okay. So what I would do though, is I would go to the day before, and that's just me. And I would look at my archived posts, and it only goes back so far. But I would look at my day before, because every day I talk about the opportunity in some way, shape, or form. Here is where I talked about the opportunity via hands-free. Okay. And I literally go through it and I tell my story. I showed you guys how to do this in session number, was it 2 or 3? Okay. I showed you guys how to do this. This is exactly what I'm doing. So you can either do it as pictures or switch it up and do the same verbiage, but just talk instead. Okay. And then what I do, you guys, is I'll go to my viewers and I'll look at these people. But here's the thing. I can easily engage and interact and message all the people that view my stories. And if I've messaged everyone that has viewed my stories, I know I need to add to my network. I know that I need to add more people then to my network if the same people are viewing my stuff over and over. Does that make sense? Or it means I need to interact more in my newsfeed. Okay. And in my newsfeed means not people who are liking and commenting per se, but it's in your newsfeed on Facebook and newsfeed on Instagram. And I always know when I go on a big interacting spree, like I get immediate returns. Look at that. I have a new comment, 10 likes, and 5 more followers. And I literally did it before my 8 p.m. Zoom. Okay. Now, doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. If I can do that interaction boost 3 times a day, and it literally took me 30 seconds. I go through my newsfeed. This is what I do. Look, this is what I do. I don't go to their page per se. Look, there's 13. Did you see that? It just changed. Okay. I don't even know if that looks good. To be honest, it really doesn't. But like, we're going to like it because we're, to each their own. That's a sponsored ad. You don't like those. Okay. Cool. And look, oh, she's cute. Okay. Right. And this is what I do, you guys, right? This is literally what I do. They're cute, okay, but I'm interacting because this is how it works. Social media, you interact, you comment, you like on someone's content, typically they exchange it, right? Typically, if they can like or comment one post of mine, I have engaged them to some extent. Now they're in my network. Now, when they see my name pop up, they're not as inclined to ignore my comment. They may be more inclined to engage back and forth with me, right? I want to become a familiar name to my audience. That's my whole goal. I don't care if you have 300 followers or 200 friends on Facebook. Engage with them actively, right? Make sure they know who you are and know that you're real and authentic. Now, if those 300 followers or 200 friends over on Facebook aren't worth anything, meaning maybe they're never going to join your business, maybe they're never going to buy a product. Okay, what's your solution? Add to your network. Literally, I kid you not, I have searched random names. I have searched the name Ashley. It's a common name. Go on Facebook and search Ashley. Find a few people that have a public profile and go into their friends list. I kid you not, I've done that. Why? It helps you build that. Go into your pillars. Search places you want to visit. I search Hawaii a lot on Instagram, right? Where do I want to go? I want to travel. So where do I want to visit? Italy, Hawaii, Spain. Like, where do I want to go? So I'm visiting people that have tagged themselves there because they're travelers. They're social. They're posting about it, right? That's what you want, right? So that's why I search the pillars. So I'm going to show you that next. So before I move on from the interaction part and how I stack following, friending, and commenting at the same time, what questions do you guys have? Because I'm going to show you another tip about how I add to my network.
I got another question because I'm working on my Instagram game. My Facebook game is good, but my Instagram game is pretty terrible. But I'm bringing it up. Can you see how many people watch your reel? Well, you can see the number, but can you see the actual people?
Great question.
Is there any way to see that? Because I know, because my reels have been getting like 200 to 300. I've even gotten 400 like on one, but I don't know how to get to those people. Or can you not get to those people?
That's a great question. I don't know. Let me think about this. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, like when you click on the little reels button, not here,
I'm trying to click on where you plays. I don't think you can. I think you can only see the likes.
Okay.
But that's another aspect of the business. And I know it can be overwhelming. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to post. I got to do hands-free. I got to do reels, right? There is a lot. Don't feel like you have to do all of it. But I will tell you, doing reels and having it be fun, like you can see this one was just me and my son. It has brought a whole new element and life to my business and my followers unconsciously. Like, I don't know why, it is. Like me getting 69 likes and stuff like that wasn't the norm 4 months ago, like when I started KPI. So I would say that if you guys are open to hitting social media in all facets, I would say do it. So yes, I don't think you can see that, Yatika. I don't think you can.
Okay.
That's a great point because I would love to see freaking so many of mine because some of them got a lot of hits, but like I don't think so. Nope. I think you can just see who likes it. Yeah. And you guys, and you know how to add a cover photo, right? You know how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's helped a lot. And then I add it to my main page first. Then eventually after 24 hours, I release it from my main page, my grid.
I have a question.
I don't know what you mean by that.
So like when you add a reel, you can add it to your grid, which is my actual page, or you can just have it on reels. I usually add them to my grid, and then after 24 hours, I release it to where it's just in my reels.
Oh, how do you do that part? I didn't know
you would right click it. Like for example, I left this one up. Like this one, I would click the 3 dots and I would say remove from profile grid.
Oh, but it'll stay in your reels.
It'll stay in my reels. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Tamara, go for it.
What did you mean about like having the cover photo?
Yeah, like, okay, so for example, if I were to open up one of my drafts, I'm trying to think, did I already post this one? I did. I actually need to post a new one, so let me show you. So I'm gonna post, you're talking about reels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a reel. I needed to post this one, you guys are gonna laugh. Okay, hold on, add. All right, so, okay, so here's my thing. So I wanna go here and then see where it says cover? I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go add from camera roll and I'm gonna add a picture. And so I'm trying to think which one I wanted to add. Let me think. It's all the way back from, hold on, it's easier. So why I do this, Tamara, is because it's more appealing to the eye than a weird frame that's still photo. And so more people are tempted to click on it, okay?
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? And so it's about like kind of my husband, so I may choose to use this one, right? And so then that's what pops up. So when I add it to my profile grid, it's not a weird, funky. Here's the thing on Instagram, it's all about the flow and it's all about the look of your page. And if you can keep it clean, then people are going to be more inclined to like view it, right? So real relationship struggles. Feel me. I'm just going to do random ones. I really have no rhyme or reason to what I do, honestly, like, and then I just have some that come up. So you hit the pound sign and then you have random ones that come up. There we go. Okay, boom. Now look here, when I'm ready to post it, do you see here, also share to feed? I can take that off. That just shares to my reels, or I can leave it on. So if you don't want it in your profile grid, make sure that is not blue. Okay? If you do, then go ahead and make sure that it's there. Now I normally add mine to both areas first to get more views, then eventually I will take it off, but I have to have it flow with the feel of my page. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna share, see how at the top it's sending. And I do this, I interact hardcore, then I'll post, or then I'll do a reel. And the reason is because then I want more people to engage on that new post I just did. Does this make sense? So I have a rhyme or reason to why I do a lot of things. And don't make it harder on yourself. You know, I interact like crazy and I have my post or my reel ready to go, and then I post it. Because then I know people are going to actively engage me back, and I don't want them liking an old post. I want something newer, right? So boom, here we go.
Another quick question.
Go for it.
Oh, go ahead. How do you get the reels to go over to Facebook, or do they not? Like when you post them in your story, like I figured out how to post them in my Instagram stories, but they don't go into my Facebook stories. Am I doing something wrong?
So, okay, if you want a reel, no, you're not doing anything wrong. They don't necessarily, well, if you post them in your stories, the stories will feed over, right? So like if I were to go here.
But I can't get my Facebook, I can't get the reels to go. Like it'll ask you like, do you want to post in your stories? And I'll say yes. And it'll post it in my Instagram story, but not in Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know if it's something with my settings, but my regular posts, they'll go to both. But the reels won't.
Is it from TikTok?
No, it's from Instagram.
Reels? Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
that is weird. TikTok.
So I would say, so here's what I just double check. I don't know why it wouldn't share, but what I do is I come here, I click this arrow. See that little like paper plane arrow thing?
Okay.
I click that, add reel to story, and then I go like this. And then I click send.
And it goes over to Facebook?
No, this one doesn't. For whatever reason, it's not shared. So then I go over to Facebook and I just do the same thing. Right here.
Oh, but you can only do that if it's in TikTok?
No, you can do it anyway. Doesn't matter.
Also, I can share it from Facebook from the reels.
Yep.
Okay.
So I share it in both stories. Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't automatically do it like the other stories, but for some reason it doesn't. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I do. And then I try to see how fast I can get it up, right? So then I'll go and interact more, right? So when I post, you guys, make it worth your time. If you've got 5 or 10 minutes and you're ready to post, make sure you interact before, post, and then interact after. Why? Because you are in the first hour of posting anything, that is the most crucial for it to be seen. And the more interaction you get within the first hour of posting on both platforms, it actually will allow you to have more likes, more interaction on that, more engagement. And that's what you want. So that's what I do. So then what I'll do is this is posted, right? So it's on my feed. So now I'm going to go to my news feed and I'm just going to start like, let me refresh it. And then I would go and interact again. This is like taking forever. Okay, there's posts. Okay. Right. And I would literally interact. I don't know what that was.
All right, they were singing.
Wobble before you gobble. Okay, girl. Yes. Oh, fitness. Oh, I can't hang with her. Let's see. Oh no. What is this? What's she doing? I don't know. This is what I probably can't even.
She thinks she Beyonce. She thinks she Beyonce.
Oh, okay. Hey. Yeah, see, we could probably be friends, right? And that's literally what she thinks. Oh, sorry. Okay, and I know I've talked to her. Some of the people you'll still see that come up. Now, if you've got someone that's in your newsfeed that gets 700 likes, you can totally keep them in your network. But honestly, I add from their network because someone that has 600 or 700 likes is being endorsed by multiple companies. They're not necessarily worried about you, right? Not saying that they don't care, but more than likely, you're not necessarily going to stand out from everybody else because they're 600 or 700. Let someone have 6 or 700 likes. I won't even know what to do. Okay. This is what I do then. So hopefully this helps to make sense why I do it this way, but I can knock out all my engagement and interaction on both platforms. So I'll post to Facebook and I'll do the same thing. I'll interact, I'll post, I'll interact again, right? And look, 16, here we go. It keeps building. Do you see this? And then I'll go over to Instagram and I'll do the same thing. Okay. Why is it doing that? Okay, there it goes. So I'll go over to Instagram and I'll do the same thing. Now, here is how I search people or find people based on my network. Okay. So I go to this magnifying glass at the bottom. I'm on Instagram. I go to the top and I'm going to search my pillars. What are your pillars? Is it family? Is it faith? Is it fun? Is it freedom? But then get more specific because with your pillars, you got to niche down all the way down. So my pillars are, fun or their family, but it's a boy mom. It is moms over 30. It's specific, right? So I may go in here and I may say boy mom, right? Okay. And I may say tags. Okay. So maybe I'll look at boy mom life, or maybe I like going with less. See how many people like this? 11.9 million. There's a lot to pick from, right? Or go down. I'm going to click boy mom with the heart. Okay. So that means some woman who's a boy mom has used that hashtag when she posted. That's what that means. That's why hashtags can be important. But I only use them for the most part when I'm trying to find people to add to my network. Okay. So for example, here's what comes up, right? Now you can click and some people have a lot of likes, but as you notice, some people may not. Okay. 164. Look at this, 696,000 views. Like what? Okay. Moving on. 156, 194. I'm going all the way down, you guys, not because I don't want these people, but because again, this isn't my ideal market. I need to niche down a little bit more because like 11,000, look at this. Because there's, I want to make sure that I am hitting my group of people that I can connect with on a deeper level. Okay. So if I can't find anyone after scrolling a couple times, what I do, you guys, is I'll find this. Let's say I'll go into her likes and I do the same thing, guys. They liked a boy mom post. Why? So maybe they have kids. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find someone. Oh, look, she only has 140 followers. Look at this one. 620. Those are the people that you want. You see what I'm saying? You don't want the one that has 7,000 likes. You want her network, her community. Okay. So I'm going to follow. We're going to follow. What's this one? She's 21. Okay. She's in college. We'll see. And this is what I do. Tell me how you can't find 17. Nope. We don't want that. Look at this one, 569. Okay. Let's see. You don't want necessarily people that have umpteen thousand followers. Again, you're not necessarily going to matter a whole lot. Okay. Then if you don't want to search boy mom and you want to search places that are local to you. Is there a zoo? Is there some amusement park? Is there Disney World, Disneyland? Is there something big that a lot of people would come and tag themselves at, right? Don't overthink it, but think big, right? Think, where would you go? Is there a spa that's really good that's close to you? Is that where you visit a lot? Could you, or do you know people that are tagging themselves there? Okay. So hopefully that helps to make sense, but I literally will search a different pillar usually every day if I haven't hit my quota of adding so many people as followers. And that's what I do. So yeah. Yep. And this page, you guys, this is a general like for you page. These people aren't necessarily following you. These are just like the most liked or most viewed posts recently. So that's what this is. Again, it's a good place to start. You don't necessarily want to follow that exact person, but you may want to niche down a little bit, right? And so you may go here, she has 6,700 likes, but you may go in here and then you may find someone else like her that has 8,000. You go back. Okay, maybe her, she only has 164. You see what I'm saying? So these are helpful, but these aren't the end all be all people that you want right here that you're seeing. Okay. So hopefully that helps to make sense, but doing all three of those things actually gets you completed for those specific tasks that I was just saying, which is task numbers 3, 4, and 8. What questions do you guys have? I know that's a lot. You make this look so easy. It takes time. It really does take time. But be patient with yourself. And again, if you're not on Instagram and you haven't mastered Facebook, stay on Facebook. Don't feel like you have to open up Instagram just to do this. You don't. If you're only on Instagram and you haven't mastered Instagram, but then you want to open up Facebook, don't do that. Or if you're on Facebook and maybe you just haven't dabbled in that, don't do that and overwhelm yourself if you're not ready for that yet. Instagram takes a minute to acquire. It really does. Facebook takes a minute to acquire too. Don't overwhelm yourself. The reason why this is important is because no matter where you guys, social media is social media. Any platform will work, but you've got to be diligent enough by adding to your platform and cultivating that platform. You can't just post and expect people to sign up with you right then and there, because it doesn't work like that. Posting isn't asking, right? You have got to actively engage and communicate and talk to people back and forth and let them know that you're human, let them know that you care, let them know that you want to interact and you want to have that relationship. Because again, people that have a level of trust with you, they're not going to need sold on what you do. They're not going to need sold on the products you take because they already trust you. Okay. So does that make sense, you guys? Hopefully that does. What questions do you guys have? Anyone have any? Hold on, I can't see. Let me view it this way. There we go. That's better. Any questions? Are you guys like, now I have to do all this? Hopefully it helps. Sure, that's still on here. She is. Trying to, if you need help specifically, you just let me know, girl. Don't worry. All right. So your task, you guys, for this week, is I want you guys to start getting like some sort of habit formed for going to your, first off, making sure you're present in your stories and on your posts every day. Because if you're not present, at least posting or in your stories, or like, you know, those stories I showed you, the hands-free every day, you're not going to have anyone to message. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you're not. You've got to start there. Okay. So I want you guys download the KPI list if you haven't already. And if you don't know what that is, again, that is in the document library or in the new up level page, and you can download it. It's tasks that we follow every single day. It's just a guide, okay? And start knocking those out. I'm going to put in the chat, you guys, videos on each one of the tasks. Let me put that in there now, and you guys can copy it. Many of you have already seen this, but just in case there's newbies on here that want it, I'm going to send it. Session number 4, boom. Oh, it's all jumbled together, but they're all specifically in there. So you can copy that, but those are all the YouTube videos that explain each task, and they're a few minutes long. They're not long at all. But the reason why it's important to probably view those and take a look at that KPI list is because it's going to give you a really good general idea on how to work your business every single day. I think that so often we get so consumed with being on our phone 24/7, and you don't have to be, like, you really don't. This is your business. You can run it the way you want, but you just have to make sure you're at least showing up. And so if you download that KPI list and then figure out a way to stack those, stack those habits together, those tasks together, and you will find it flows a whole lot easier. Because like I said, I'm busy. I don't have a lot of time to sit and work on this KPI list, but I want to get it done, because getting it done, I have noticed that it propels my business forward. It does. It really does. And it may not that day, but by me planting those seeds consistently every single day, by 3 days from then, or a week then, or at the end of the week, I'm having people that are finally cultivated enough to where they're ready to order on Friday, or they're ready to order the next Friday, or they want more info on what I do, right? But in order to get that level of interaction or the potential list, you've got to start somewhere, okay? There's no right or wrong way to follow or friend people, but you might as well niche down a little bit and get people in your network that you would actually want to be friends with. Because I used to back in the day just friend or follow anyone. And that's honestly not smart, because there's like random people, okay? There's businesses, there's random people. You might as well take that extra second and look for people that you actually would want to interact with and you'd want to be a part of your team and your organization. Because you got to make it fun, because if it's not fun, I just won't do it. So hopefully that makes sense. And same thing on Facebook, you guys. If you're going through your newsfeed on Instagram or Facebook and you see something that just doesn't jive with your vibe, you have every single right to unfriend or unfollow that person. They don't have to be a part of your business or your organization, right? So don't feel bad about cleaning up your newsfeed as you're going through and interacting. I do that all the time. And Brandon probably can't stand it, because some of the people that he may have brought into his network in the beginning I don't know. So I have unfollowed and unfriended a lot of people. And granted, here's Facebook. I do a whole lot of host to posts on Facebook. So my news feed is constantly filled with people that I don't know, or some vibes or personalities that just aren't aligned with mine. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they may not be the right person at this time that I may be looking for in my business. And so we can be cool, but right now, everyone that's in my newsfeed has to be a potential or someone in my downline that I'm actively helping. If that is, so here's the thing, if you go through your newsfeed and all you see is It Works people, you got to change something up. You should not be seeing all of us in your newsfeed. And if you go through your newsfeed and all you're seeing is Grandma Sally and Aunt May and all these people, you got to clean it up. Because if Aunt Sally and whoever else I just said, they're not going to be a part of your team or your organization, get them out of your, unfollow them then. Don't unfriend them. If they're going to get upset, unfollow them. Because every single person in your newsfeed needs to be a potential, period. And if they're not, and you don't jive with them, or there's even, if you're scrolling past and not liking their post, why are you following them? Are they sharing 30,000 messages on Apple Pie? Unfollow them, unfriend them. Shoot, I don't even care. There's only so many ways you can make a pie, okay? So that's how I feel about that. Tavy, can you send me the prior Zooms? Yes, I can send them to you. Absolutely. I don't post them because I want people to get on it live. So yes, but I do have them and I will upload this tonight. But hopefully that helps to make sense, you guys. And again, for those people, let your downline know. Everyone in your downline, you should be actively following on social media to help them. Anyone in your upline, just follow them if you have to, or unfollow them and get them out of your newsfeed. You can always go to their page if it's public, right? I'm not going to feel bad if you guys have to unfollow me if that's what you want to do. But seriously though, I want you guys to have full of potentials, right? Because here's the thing, whoever you're following or you're friends with on social media, and you go to that suggested friends list file, you may get some of their friends. And you don't necessarily want to friend someone in Danville, you know, where Tracy is, and be like, oh, Tracy, sorry, I friended Lucy up the street and she wants to get some, you know, collagen, whatever, right? You don't want to do that. So you just got to be very careful when you're friends with people on our team or even sidelines, because you may get suggested friends from them. Not a bad thing, but you don't want to necessarily take from their network, nor do they want to take from your network. Okay. So that's why a lot of us tend to say follow and not friend. All right. How many should you follow versus your, okay, great question. This more or less goes with Instagram. And I will say that when you're starting out, don't worry about the numbers. Don't get hung up on that. Now, I will say that if you only have 2 followers, but you're following 10,000, that's probably it's a little off. Okay. Because you want to make sure that your followers and your following are pretty in sync with one another. And the reason being is because if you're following more people than follow you, then Instagram can flag you as being a spammer. You are someone that is actively trying to seek people out to profit. And they don't like that, right? So always try to make sure that they're pretty in sync with another. And the best way to unfollow people is to go through that news feed and clean it up. If you have just followed people and then you see them post, you're like, oh, never mind, right? Go ahead and unfollow them and clean it up. And there's been times where I will literally sit down and just go through my following lit, like my followers who I'm following, and I'll clean that up. There used to be apps you could use to see, well, who am I following that follows me back? Because I like it to be mutually exclusive. But they don't have it. They do have them, but they don't work anymore. So honestly, it's like a manual thing now, which is difficult. But I have noticed that because I'm actively engaging and building more tangible relationships with people, I am naturally like gaining followers because I don't even know how. Honestly, I really wish I could tell you, but they're just either Instagram is showing my post to more people, because I'm noticing a lot more people that are liking my content and I'm not even following them. So I'm not exactly sure how it's happening, but all I can attribute that to is because I am super consistent with showing up in my hands-free, my stories, and posting. And I am just trying to use all the new facets that it's offering. Instagram and Facebook, owned by the same people, guys. Just know any new feature that comes out, if you use it, they will show your profile to more people, meaning reels. If you're not on reels and you want to post a reel, just post one, right? Because you would be surprised. I know some of you have posted it and you guys have been shocked at how many views you've gotten, right? Aren't you kind of like, whoa, I don't even have that many followers, but that many people viewed my reel, right? So people are watching. I don't know how, or the algorithm that comes up and makes yours pop up, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, use all the new features to an extent that you can, because they'll show your profile to more people. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so I got a question. Do you think I should master Facebook first and delete Instagram? I wouldn't say delete Instagram. Never delete it, but use it for the purpose of maybe your stories. Because you guys know I'm all about Instagram stories, sharing Instagram to Facebook, because I do feel the features on Instagram stories are much better than Facebook. I couldn't even tell you how to start a story on I don't even know how to start a story on Facebook besides just doing what I did with my reel. I don't know. And so I would encourage you to use Instagram for that, but don't get so hung up on trying to master it and following and friending and all that. Allow yourself a little bit of time and work up to that. But yeah, I would master Facebook in the fact of getting super consistent with your network and cultivating that. Good question. All right. Anything else? Let me see. Is this a new question? I don't think so. Okay. Anything else you guys have? Hopefully this helped. Did this help some of you? Yes? Okay. Those of you, I will send for those of you that have someone new or your downlines aren't on here, make sure that you get with me if they need the recording. And also let them know I don't post the recordings to the page. And it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I want them to get on live if they can, so that they have the opportunity to ask questions. So anyone new, we need to get them added into that new up level page and they can start on these sessions. Yay, good. I'm so glad. Okay, good. Awesome. It helped me so much. Yay. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Honestly, yeah, don't overthink that. On the days you have more time, then search your pillars and find more people to follow. You can follow multiple times a day. You can interact multiple times a day, but you at least want to do it once. All right, good. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Oh, good, Brian. Yay. So glad to see you on. Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Well, I will stop the recording and let me reclaim host. And I will get this uploaded tonight.